Season 3, Law and Order, 1992-1993. Gave this a rating of 5 out of 5. Saw it in July 2020. It's more of the same for Law and Order, and everything looks great as usual. However, there are big changes for the cast, as it's the end for Paul Sorvino, Dan Florrick, and Richard Brooks, and the beginning for Jerry Orbach. While it's sad to see the three to leave, I think having a revolving door in place is healthy for the show, just to shake things up. Here's my analysis for some of the following episodes. Skin Deep. In her first real role of any medium, the 13-year-old Claire Danes guest stars before she would hit big in Hollywood. Conspiracy. Most of this episode reminds me of what happened to Malcolm X on February 21st, 1965, during the meeting for Organization of Afro-American Unity in Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom. The only difference is that the Nation of Islam, NOI, under the orders of Elijah Muhammad, had Malcolm X assassinated possibly because he was so popular, overshadowing him. Why Malcolm X left NOI is that he had suddenly lost respect for the fraudulent leader after finding out about his affairs with many secretaries, which produced illegitimate children. Meanwhile, Eric Bogosian guest stars as the defendant's lawyer, and I love that tackle by Chris North. Forgiveness. I would have been extremely disappointed if Stone lost the case. Hey Tommy, just shut the hell up. Nobody cares about your sob story. Now get out of here. The corporate veil. $250,000 buys an apartment on Park Avenue in New York City, and the paid-off victim has enough money to maintain it? I don't think so. Wedded bliss. Oh, Mike Logan is getting a bit personal, and he should watch out because Sierra is starting to disapprove of his methods. Helpless. Dr. Olivet has just lost credibility going forward. I can't believe the judge threw out the verdict just because he didn't agree with it. This has to be illegal. If not, then what's the point of a jury trial after all? Self-defense. Alan Arkin's son, Adam, shows talent for acting. I wonder why he wasn't in plenty of movies around that time. Anyway, his character's claim for self-defense ended when he crossed the threshold by going after two black guys. The Greek had a good case if he stopped himself after they ran away. Like I always say, having a gun complicates matters. Training means everything, and ordinary citizens are never prepared for the moment which will spontaneously occur. Hence, it's best to invest more in alternate security. By the way, I don't get the concept of a security cage. Once a guy is in there, how is crime prevented? Or is it to find out if he looks more white or brown than black upon inspection before letting him in? Why not just cage the whole store and only interact with the customer through an opening? Prince of Darkness, reminding me a lot of Traffic and feeling like a season finale. It's the last full appearance of Paul Sorvino, making for one of the best season 3s. I thought he did a magnificent job after replacing George Zunza and by developing great chemistry with Chris North. I was getting used to Paul after a while, but it's too bad he had to leave so soon. The reasons for his departure were fearing that his voice was being damaged by the cold New York locations and the desire to devote more time to his music. Seretta's scene with the arms dealer, well played by Mark Margolis, is pretty scary to watch. I felt something terrible was going to happen. And by the way, it's nice to see Miami Vice's Sandra Santiago again. Point of view. Out is Paul Sorvino, in is Prince of the City's Jerry Orbach, who would stay with the show for 12 seasons. Like I said before, Dr. Olivet has virtually no credibility and should have been let go by the precinct. At the beginning of the episode, if there was rape, why didn't the victim call the police and simply explain what happened? She was still within her right of self-defense. Consultation. No, the Nigerian tribal chief could not be punished. He got away with it because Nigeria is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. If you are interested in seeing a film a familiar theme about mules carrying drugs in their bellies, then I recommend Maria Full of Grace. In real life, Chris North was in partnership with the airline front desk attendant Beverly Johnson, and that's why they were flirting a bit. Make sure to take off the pregnant lady's shirt before applying defibrillation. Extended family. One of the best episodes of season 3. I knew what she was trying to do. Reminding me of the McMartin preschool case and possibly the sexual molestation accusation by Mia Farrow against Woody Allen. All I can say is independent verification. If none can be had, there's no case because the possibility of coaching the kids still exists. Right to counsel. Disbar the bitch Sally Knight because she clearly failed to serve the best interests of her client. Promises to keep. The battle between these two women can be characterized as mind-controlling bitch versus mind-controlling bitch. Anyway, Lindsay Krause guest stars and has learned a lot from Joe Montanga's character in House of Games. Mother love, ridiculous and has nothing to do with the color of the skin. The grand jury screws up when Robinette has a point. The family tried to pin the murder on the drug dealer who didn't do it. Why not charge the mother with manslaughter for assisting in her daughter's suicide anyways? Jurisdiction. Dan Hedaya guest stars and he always plays dirty cops. Think of the hurricane and the shack. Therefore, this episode, which has a familiar ring to what Richard Speck did in Chicago during the night of July 13, 1966, is rather predictable. Mark Blum is also in it, and he just passed away from complications relating to COVID-19 virus. You may hear the acronym LUD being uttered by detectives. It means local usage details, which is detailed report of local calls made and received from a particular phone number. Manhood. The 3 cops got away with murder, and they should have been also charged with hate crime and civil rights violations. Benevolence. It's the final episode for both Dan Florek and Richard Brooks as the series regulars. The word is that the show was under threat of being cancelled unless it had more female characters, so they got fired. I can't argue with the decision, since the opening credits will show 6 males with pictures and then a small credit in words near the end for Carolyn McCormick. While Florek is easily replaceable, I think it's a big mistake to get rid of Brooks. And I've enjoyed his presence on the show. As for the storyline, everybody's ASO is really good, in case you don't know. The deceased female angrily signed at the beginning. I will bring the coffee now. What the professor of the linguistics said about the deaf being able to write as well as anyone in the formal setting is clearly wrong. The answer is it would be extremely rare to find a deaf person whose first language is ASL to write as well. Regarding the setting, Marcia Hendricks was most definitely hard of hearing. Thank you so much for listening to this review of Law and Order. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. Thank you so much, and please come back to see my other videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.